Hi, we are your Sacred Playground team at Urban Yoga Chicago, and we really appreciate you entrusting us with your children. We just love watching them grow from session to session.
Parents often ask us what goes on at Sacred Playground, what the children do, what benefits they get, how we approach the kids. So we put together this video so that you can, first of all, meet us. We're your core Sacred Playground team, and for us to give a little explanation of that and a bit about what you can expect.
Our original answer was no, because kids they're already there. They know, they're already present, and that's mainly what meditation is. That's why they're always a step ahead of us when they're trying to negotiate things, right? So then after thinking about it, the realization came that we were all kids. We were there, and somehow along the way, at some point, we've forgotten. And if it's taken us a lot of, whether it's meditation classes or therapy, or just whatever your journey was to get to finding your way back, at the very least, to knowing that you may need something to help manage the stress and the mind chatter and everything else, and they already have it. So then the answer became a yes. Yes, let's do this. Let's create a program for children to stay remembering who they are, and that was the beginning of Sacred Playground. Yeah.
Yeah. So to explain that even further, meditation and yoga itself is really like a tool, just like language is a tool. So we all know that foreign language is best learned when we're young, when it's, when they're taking it in, not even knowing that they're learning, they're just taking it in. And so just like cooking or dancing or language, it's if it's brought to them when they are children and they don't even realize they're learning, then they take it in innately, and it just becomes a part of who they are. So
it becomes their reality, basically. Like it's a normal for them. It's not something new that they have to somehow.
Right. Yeah. And so then they're more comfortable with it, even if they don't cook, for years in their high school or until they're an adult. If they had grown up in the kitchen, watching, learning, observing, not realizing they're learning, they are more comfortable. They just are automatically more comfortable. Yes.
And it becomes accessible.
It becomes more accessible, right? So in the same way, we want to offer meditation as a tool when they're young.
So one of the main things that that's one thing that they get from being in Sacred Playground is just that introduction and that continual feeding of this thing as a real thing that they're familiar with as they grow older. So even if they don't use it in the beginning, it's easier for them to come back to.
Right. You can consider it as a seeding of a foundational superpower that they'll have that will serve them throughout the rest of their lives.
I like that superpower.
Yeah.
So our approach with the kids is to meet them where they are. And with the younger children, for example, we bring in stories and dance and play. And with the older children, we like to bring in a variety of different types of meditation, from walking to mantra to breath. And our expectations of the kids really are very individualized for where they are when they come into each session.
Yes, and we make sure that each of the children know that they all are individually. We manage expectations, their expectations that everyone is different there, and it's sort of connected, but also slightly not. That from that space, that everyone also feels very safe in who they are, where they currently are, and how they come that day or at that time.
So what can you expect as a parent? Often it's really hard to tell when you ask your children, oh, what did you do in class today? And at that moment, when you're asking them, they've already left class, they are with you, they are present with you. So they're not really thinking about what they did. So it's a tough question. They don't usually answer it in a way that's satisfactory to us as parents or adults. We want to know, we want to hear the juicy, all of the stuff that happened. So in terms of expectations, sometimes this stuff just comes out, whether it be later in that evening, just a chance conversation, Might be a week, it might be a month, it might be a year.
It might be a year because
Yeah.
I remember my daughter when she was small, when she was in early childhood, and one day she was talking to me about something, and I'm like, oh, like when did that happen? Yesterday, you know? And I was like trying to it was as if it was just happened presently, and I find out later that that happened like over a year ago. You know, so they say it in their own time, like when they're thinking about it. So what we're asking you in terms of how, you know, part of this in managing expectations and really giving them the space to process this in their own way and to help them stay present. One of the things that we have a hard time doing, right, as adults, is to not ask them and allow us to feed you the answers that you need to be fed. If you have any questions, to ask us, so that we can engage with you. It gives us an opportunity to engage with you, to know what you need to know, rather than asking the child. Just keep them, you know, help them stay in that present moment. So if you have any other questions, please ask. In the meanwhile, we feel truly honored that that you have trusted us with your children, and we look forward to being with them again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.